I guess it's a mind shift, and we've all got to make it. And it's still happening in my head. We're talking about diversity all the time. The observation is there's wild oats coming through that wheat crop. We don't know why, whether he's got resistance to his sprays, but it's just this whole thing about getting your head around diversity, and having some weeds in amongst your landscape is a good thing, and just getting your head around that. And here we are, we're all down the track and we're getting our head around it, but these guys that have spent their whole life trying to get monoculture crops to look pretty, there's a fair big old mind shift to move there, yeah?
So in the sense of measuring, it's more changing actually what you're looking at.
Yeah. So another part too is, and I have done it with guys standing around in the paddock, we say, how many things have we planted, like in a mixed species, say, how many things have we planted here? Yeah, we planted 5. And yeah, how about counting all these other things?
Yeah.
And then get them to count them, and then get them to put the connection that's multi-species too. So all of a sudden, when we were on a 4 or 5 way multi-species mix, once we start counting another 10 weeds in with them, we're on a 15-way mix. How cool is that?
Yeah. So from a measuring, you're saying count all the plants in the paddock as an indicator.
Another thing too is that as our system changes, whether it's going up or down, a different lot of weeds show up. So sometimes with the plants that we're putting out, they're not going to show up maybe this year, but they might later on. So then we're back to just letting time roll out its thing and remembering that it's a self-organising system. Yeah, that's the thing too, is we always want to jump all over this damn stuff. And yet, if we just leave it be or help it along, it will do its own thing. And then, again, part of that is just don't kill anything. Another important one is that where you fit the grazing into it, that there could be a big shift there too.
Well, there's a whole bunch of things that you actually said there, thanks Martin, around diversity, but it's just like, and dragging it back to the measuring thing, it's all going to relate to specific, farmers that you're working with. Are you killing anything? There's a measure.
Yeah, it is, absolutely.
And literally, what we work out in the discovery and we take to the action plan has to relate to that specific farmer, but it could be around counting all the plants, including the weeds, and seeing biodiversity measures like that. Understanding plant succession, so it's not like a different number of plants, but actually what's happening, to know what type of plants are there that demonstrate the management. So all of these are measures.
Yeah.
Measures don't have to be just sending away soil tests. They're all things. So I really appreciate you bringing this side into it. And obviously there's huge amount of different things we can look at. But they can, once they're identified and they relate to the farmer that you're talking with, then you start to see what's important to them about making, significant landscape changes and paradigm shifts and things like that. And then they become your 3 to 5 things that you're going to focus on, say, in your first 3 months working together or however given time. That's trying to bring measuring alive.